Reinvestment risk is an ongoing concern for investors who own bonds. True that. When asked by a client how to address this risk in her portfolio, the RR might discuss the benefits of which of these four strategies. So this one's about reinvestment rate risk. We know what that means, right? That means all the cash flows that you're getting from a bond have to be reinvested into whatever interest rate climate or return climate that you can possibly get. So let's see where you guys come down on this one. Dollar cost averaging, could that be the magic bullet? What about leverage? What about a bond ladder? I've heard something about a bond ladder, haven't quite figured out what it is just yet. Breakpoint sales. All right, so let's see where we are here, guys. Renee, thank you so much. Renee has responded with her. Renee has cast her ballot. Megan, thank you. Cindy, I see your answer. Very good. Another second for other people to pull the lever on their voting machine. And let me know what you think the way around this little enigma might be. Just another second here. Okay, well, what I'll tell you is the way that we want to deal with reinvestment rate risk is, and I'll show you what the correct answer is, which indeed is, it's all about building a ladder, a bond ladder. What a bond ladder is, guys, you are today, June 21st, you are going to buy a series of bonds, right? You're going to take, X amount of cash, you're going to buy a bunch of bonds. Let's say, just for argument's sake, you're going to buy 10 bonds, right? And all of these bonds, you can choose all the different maturities that you'd like. You can buy 10 bonds that all have, let's call them 5-year maturities. So you only have to worry about this one time, right? They're all going to come due in 5 years, in 2026. But the problem is, they're all going to come due in 2026. So all the cash you've got to worry about reinvesting, it's all going to be dropped on your doorstep at the exact same time, right? 5 years out, which means whatever interest rates have done or where they sit today, 5 years later, you've got to take all that capital that you're going to get 5 years later and reinvest it. You can only reinvest, right, at the time all that debt comes due. So you're at the mercy of the bond market vis-a-vis all the assets you've held for the time. What a lot of credit analysts will recommend is that you do a staggered portfolio, or the term sometimes used as a laddered portfolio. What I would do if I'm buying 10 bonds, one bond I would buy would have a 1-year maturity. Another bond I would buy would have a 2-year maturity. Another bond I would buy would have a 3-year maturity, a 4-year, a 5-year, a 6-year, a 7-year, etc. So each and every year in my little sequence here, only 1/10, if you will, one piece of the portfolio is actually going to mature. So instead of having to redeploy all that capital at one time, I set it up that I only have to worry about reinvesting just that one element of the overall portfolio. So I stagger this. I spread out maturities so I don't effectively put all my eggs into one maturity basket. It really does ease off on the reinvestment rate risk issue that you've got. So again, it's just another variable. It's another way to look at, not putting all of your eggs in the same one basket. That is what's called the bond ladder. You'll sometimes see that explained or described on the exam as a staggering maturities. The other 3 choices in this question don't really have anything to do at all. They are all legitimate things, yes, but they don't really speak to the question of, hey, how does that reinvestment rate risk thing work, and how can a bond ladder be helpful? I hope that makes sense. I hope it's clear in terms of how, if you space out maturities, you really do mitigate or minimize. You may not avoid it, but you certainly minimize the impact of a full throttle rate move on an entire portfolio.